Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Badash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to you Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, You Laugh at Our Tribulations, So We Will Laugh at Yours. Alright, E. So, hey, this came... Let me adjust my chair. This one came from inspired, through the Holy Spirit, through a video that was posted by Elder Yashawamba from the GMS Dallas camp, but he posted it on his Two Through and Information page. Now we're gonna go ahead and play this. Now I dropped a comment on this, and we'll read that afterwards. All right, because this had me heated when I first saw it. All right, because I hadn't seen it until just recently, just last night. All right, when I saw this, man, it had me heated. Okay, because when you go into the information, all right, back beyond this, all right, it's even worse. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. See if I can zoom in. Boom, there we go.
So, I want you to think about something. The spot where you're sitting, every square foot of ground in this country was stolen from my ancestors. And after you stole it, you murdered them. So, you'll forgive us if we do not laugh along. There is nothing funny about the extermination of a people. The theater stinks of blood. That's all I have to say.
All right, and you see all the Edomites laughing. All right, you see all the Edomites laughing. All right, and so this is bad right off the bat, because you see this and you think, oh, damn, these people are laughing at that. Well, there's something that makes this even worse. All right, and the thing that makes this even worse is that this whole thing, Norm Macdonald's at the Comedy Awards 2012 with this guy Little Feather and Norm Macdonald, the Edomite, to the left of him. The thing that makes this so much worse is that this was a joke set up by the Edomite on the left, Norm Macdonald. All right, this whole thing was a making fun of an event. All right, so not only was it are people laughing at this situation, it's also worse because they're making fun of a real event that happened. All right, they're making fun of a real event that happened with Marlon Brando. Okay, so and this is what you would call a parody. All right, a parody. All right, and let's go and grab that term. Let's see what it says. An imitation of the style of a particular writer, artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect. All right, satire. What is satire? It says, so it says using satire. The use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose or criticize people's stupidity or vices. All right, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues, such as, the mass genocide of our people. All right. So to them, that's satire. Our death is satire to them. All right. What are they doing? They're making, like right here, look in the similar words: a mockery, ridicule. All right. Irony, sarcasm, scorn. They're making a mockery of it. All right. They think it's funny. All right. As the title of the lesson says, you laugh at our tribulation, so we're gonna laugh at yours, Esau. All right, we're gonna laugh our asses off. All right, Lord willing, we're part of the elect. We're gonna laugh our asses off. All right, when you're screaming and crying and you got the snot coming out your nose because you're so damn afraid, we're gonna laugh our asses off. All right, we are going to laugh our asses off. All right, well, that's not human. Well, you fuckers ain't human. All right, so you can just shut up and go tuck that shit somewhere else, because you ain't human. You people ain't people, man. All right, you Edomites are not human beings. All right, you lack the main quality of being human, which is humanity. All right, you're just a fucking demon in a shell. That's all you are, Esau. All right, that's all you are, and the Lord's gonna take you out. Okay, so this is Psalms 52 and 5. All right, detailing what we're gonna do and what's gonna happen to you as well. It says, do I want to read up? Let's see. Let's just read it from the top, from 52:1. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of the Most High endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and that's Esau right there in a nutshell. And lying rather than to speak righteousness, Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. Verse 5, the Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living, Selah. Here's what we're going to do. Lord willing, we're of the elect. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not the Most High his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. There you go. And we'll read it down to the bottom. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of the Most High. I trust in the mercy of the Most High forever and ever. I will praise thee forever because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. All right, but Esau doesn't trust anybody but himself. So guess what? When this happens to him, when the Most High is destroying them, all right, and they're getting plucked out of their dwelling places, all right, we're going to fear, but guess what we're also going to do? We're going to laugh at you, Esau. We're going to laugh at your calamity. We're going to laugh at your downfall. We're going to laugh at your tribulation. All right, we're going to laugh at your scorn. We're going to laugh at your misfortune. All right, we're going to laugh at your destruction. All right, your terror. All right, your sadness, your sorrows, we're going to laugh at those. Why? Because you did the same damn thing to us, all right? And we're not going to have any pity on you, all right? We're not going to have any remorse on you, all right? Even in the kingdom, we're not. But you know what we are going to do? We're going to be ruling righteously, all right? So we're not going to do the unrighteous BS, all right, that you did to us, all right? For example, we're not on that Mo shit, all right? You are. We know you are. You love it, all right? So all that sodomy that you did with our men, we're not going to be doing none of that. All right, but I can assure you that it's going to be much, much worse than whatever you did to us. All right, it's going to be much, much worse. All right, so get ready to work in them fields, boy. All right, because you're going to go to work. So let's go ahead and go back and play. So that was the one. Payback is coming. Now I made a comment on here, and go ahead and read it because I was curious. I was curious about this, and I did a little bit of research. All right, I wanted to find originally what I wanted to do was I wanted to find the whole event. All right, Norm Macdonald at the Comedy Awards 2012. I wanted to find the whole event because, as you can see, when it starts, it kind of cuts things off.
You enjoyed tonight.
So I want to see how he came out on stage, what was said. All right, and I looked into it and through a couple Reddit posts. All right, and the people were saying about how this was a parody of an event that happened with Marlon Brando. Now, let's go. And I have Reddit on here, and Slovakia, bear with me 1 minute. Make sure I don't give none of my information away. Let's see how this is gonna work. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to do it that way because it will tell you my username and all that. All right. Let's go, here it is. That way it won't get into my saved, and you can't see my username. Not that I care if the brothers would see it. It's more about, malicious people, all right, out there. You got to be locked down on that. You never know. Malicious people are the ones you got to worry about. The true brothers and sisters are fine. So I saved this. This is one of the articles I looked through last night. Norm Macdonald never accepted the award on behalf of Melissa McCarthy, but rather had an Apache, a Native American, talk about Indian rights and was subsequently laughed at. Okay? It says, if anybody isn't familiar with Norm, this is pretty typical of his type of comedy. He's definitely not afraid of dead air. All right, so blah 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 blah. He says it's definitely a love it or hate it type of thing, and it's a hate it because this is bullshit, man. All right, if you go down here, this person says thank God for Norm Macdonald. This person says, yeah, this is an homage to Marlon Brando Oscar speech after The Godfather. Norm is so deadpan in this, it's pretty amazing. It's not an homage, all right. It's not an homage, all right. What it was a mockery. It wasn't an homage. It was a mockery, all right. So let's see. Let's look up. Yeah, see, so it's not an homage. It says parody is the very explicit duplication of another book or movie in order to make fun of it for comedy purposes. What was Norm Macdonald? Okay, let's stop for a minute. This compares with a homage where they explicitly bring up a scene or situation in another book in order to praise them. He wasn't praising this. He was making fun of it. It was a parody. He was making fun of it because he's a fucking Edomite. All right, so let's go and slack you for the language. And you know there's going to be some hurt through the shirt Christians. Oh my gosh, you shouldn't swear. Just shut up and get away from here then. All right, you're not going to like what we're talking about anyway because we're talking a downfall of white people. All right, Esau, Edom. All right, so-called white people. All right, would you put that name on yourself? All right, because it means pure. And then would you call us? You call our people black. All right, which means void of light. So get out of here, Esau. All right, we don't give a damn what you have to say. All right, the Lord's gonna take you out. All right, the Lord's gonna take you out, Esau. You don't have any justification saying, oh, who the Lord's gonna take out when the Lord's gonna take all of your people out. All right, every single one of your people are gonna be taken out. All right, and you're over here talking to the Israelites, saying, oh, the Lord's gonna do this, the Lord's gonna do that. The Lord's not gonna do anything for you, E. All right, the Lord's not gonna do anything for you. All right, but put you to death. All right, so let's go over here. So there you go, homage versus parody. All right, so it said, what does it say? Parody is this very explicit duplication of another book or movie in order to make fun of it. An example for comedy purposes. Now let's look at Norm Oh, what is it? Canadian comedian. Canadian comedian. All right, and guess what? He's dead now too. So you know that's that. All right. So. Not that we're going to make fun of his death, but he wasn't too old, all right? Let's see how he died. Battling cancer, all right? And he was 61, so that's not too old and that's not too young either, all right? But still, let's go and get... So we got that, all right? So we got that was not an homage, all right? It was a parody, all right, making fun of it, all right. So let's says, holy shit, that's hilarious. If you're wondering about these comments about the dark room, that's because it cuts off at another guy making some joke about it, I guess. It says, as a non-American watching this and reading these comments with my jaw dropped, I'm quite astounded that there's a consensus on this act being wholeheartedly funny and not offensive. Would this act still be funny if the scenario was repeated with a Jewish person talking about the atrocities of the Holocaust? No, it wouldn't. Why? Because they wouldn't find it funny. Why wouldn't they not find it funny? Because it's a white person, all right? Because that's all that a Jewish person is, all right? That's the false Jewish people are the Edomites, all right? Amalekites, all right? Really a type of Edomite that's masquerading as us, all right? Because we're the real Jews. All right? They call themselves Jewish, likened unto a Jew, all right? That's what they call themselves, all right? No, but it wouldn't be funny of them because, oh, that's our, and that you know, without saying too much, all right, that event that, you know, that we may or may not be speaking about, that event never happened, all right? That event that was mentioned somewhere in this post right here, all right, never happened, all right? It's a bunch of BS, all right? It's a bunch of BS to make themselves look like they're the hurt ones, all right? When there are a million more so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that died, all right? Millions upon millions more. All right. It says, would this act still be funny if the scenario was repeated with a Jewish person talking about the atrocities of the Holocaust? I don't understand how it's socially acceptable to make a mockery of people who represent victims of genocide. Would love to hear some reasonable comments. All right. And it says, card-carrying, literally Native American here. I don't have much time right now, but here's my 2 cents. We have a sense of humor, sometimes dark. Not all of us, but I would say blah, 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 blah. He was mocking Brando and not us. And this person, one, they're either a lying Edomite, because Edomites love to come on comment. I'm a black man, and I just have to. I'm a black woman, and I just have to. I'm a Native American man, a card carrying. I'm a Latino man. No, you aren't. You're a fucking liar. I've went on some of these dudes' page saying I'm a black dude. You know what? You scroll down on their post history. You know what you see? You see a fucking white ass hand. All right, you see a white ass hand talking about, oh, I'm a black man. No, you're not a black man. All right, you're a couple shades off, cracker. All right, so no, you ain't. All right. But that's what Esau does. They lie, and they go on, and that's why you got to wash it with social media, all right, or any type of forum board and anything online, because these people be saying, oh, I'm a black man, and I think this, and guess what? Behind that keyboard, it's a cracker, all right, just crack-a-lacking it up, all right, just sitting there, all right, putting out lies, and then you have these other white people like, oh, I didn't know black people thought like that. They don't, you dummy, all right? It's just there's some fucking white person sitting behind a board saying, this is how we feel, and that's not even a representative, all right, of our people, all right, because they're Edomite, all right, sitting behind there, and they're doing these smear campaigns, all right, is what they're doing. So this person, he's either not a Native American, all right, and he's just lying, or this motherfucker must be a $5 Indian, all right, a $5 Indian, because this is some shit. Oh yeah, we don't get offended, or he's just out in the world. All right, we don't get offended of us. He was mocking Brando and not us. Well, he wasn't mocking Brando. He was mocking you. He was mocking your people that came up on there talking about the racial injustice, you dummy. All right, but anyway, I'm not going to read too much about this. Here's this. It says, can someone explain to me what's so funny about this? Because I really don't get it. I know what it parodies. So they say, I know what it parodies. It doesn't matter. It's still not funny. All right, so there are some people that have, sense. Even if it's an Edomite, they don't truly care. But still, it's not funny, man. It's not funny. So let's go and let's get Numbers 35 and 33. And I might have to cut this lesson short and do a part 2, all right, because I got to head to the plantation here in a bit. But we'll try to get through as much of this as possible. Numbers 35 and 33, and Slakia, bear with me while I grab a drink. But when you watch these movies, you watch these TV shows, all right, you watch these videos, you start to really see how Esau really thinks about you, all right? When you watch movies like 12 Years a Slave or Roots, all right, or Emancipation, or even movies, that are based on an event, they're not, historically correct, like Django Unchained, which isn't like a real event, but it's taken place in that time. When you watch those movies, all right, and examine those movies, all right, you see how Esau really thinks about us, all right. You see how they really think about us, what they think about us, all right, and it's not good, all right. It's not good. So they're the ones calling us, lazy and worthless. Meanwhile, we're doing all the building. All right, we're putting all the shit together. All right, we're creating all the major inventions. All right, you wouldn't even have a pot to piss in or shit in if it wasn't for Jake. All right, Esau. All right, modern plumbing, you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have modern plumbing. All right, you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have ambulances. All right, your poor ass trailer trash ass kids wouldn't be able to have free lunch. All right, so there you go. Without Jake, you wouldn't have those things. All right, and anything that's accredited to Esau, a lot of 99% of the time, those are stolen inventions. All right, if you go and look at black inventions, there's a lot of stuff you wouldn't be able to live without today. All right, even you Jakes. All right, there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't be able to live without. All right, that you're accustomed to. All right, hell, the modern computer. All right, for example, made by the modern computer made by IBM. That's who worked on that project. All right, a so-called black man. All right. So here you are. What do you have in your hand right now? Or what are you watching this through? Some type of portable computer, an iPad, all right, a tablet, a phone, all right, a computer, a desktop computer, a laptop computer, and it all came from that. All right? It all came from that. All right? So you wouldn't be anything where you are today, if it wasn't built on the backs of our ancestors. All right? Built off the blood, all right, that you spilled of our people. All right, and that's how you got everything. That's how you got big, nice houses and fancy clothes. All right, and nice cars. All right, that's all bought with by the blood of our people. All right, that's all built off of our backs. All right, we're the one. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the ones fundamentally holding the society together. Because without it, you wouldn't be able to be up in your mansions doing nothing. All right, you wouldn't be able to have these yachts. You wouldn't be able to have any of these things without us. All right. So you're welcome, E. All right, and so you know when you say, oh, you lazy, we did all the work. All right, you're lazy. You're the one that sat around just fucking cracking a whip all day and didn't do any goddamn bit of work. All right, you had that wrist work on that whip though, didn't you? All right, you didn't do a goddamn thing, E. You didn't do anything. You just sat around barking orders, and you call us lazy. All right, that just shows you how dumb Esau is. All right. How dumb Esau is, and they call us animalistic. All right. Meanwhile, they're the ones acting like animals, cutting off heads, chopping off heads. All right. Graping our women and children. All right, and our men. All right, because they're Moes as well. All right, but you call us animals. All right, you call us barbarians. All right, you call us savages. You're the savages. By all definition, you're savage. You're the animal. All right, you're the animal. All right. So let's get it. This is Numbers 35 and 33. All right, it reads. Where do we want to go through here? Yeah, Numbers 35 and 33, it reads, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of them that shed it. Let's read that last part again. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And guess what? Esau has shed a lot of blood. All right, and you can go and look up the so-called large numbers of Jake that was killed. All right, just know that those aren't the real numbers. All right, how many? Because it's a lot more than this. Let's see, how many? And we got to use worldly terms. Black people. All right, how many black people were killed? Slavery. And this is just for slavery, not in general, but just slavery. Let's see, and it's going to give us a false number. All right, because they're not going to tell you their whole number. All right. Let's see. See, they don't even want to talk about the number. They don't even want to talk about the number. How many black people were killed during slavery? They don't want to talk about it. It doesn't come up. How much you want to bet if I type in about the Holocaust? How much you want to bet it's going to come up? Watch. How many Jewish look, see, approximately 6 million European Jews and 5 million prisoners of war. Why can we get the number right then and there? Why can't we get the number? Why is it so easy to get that number? Look, estimated numbers of Jews killed in the Jewish people killed in the final solution. Look, it gives the numbers, the percentages and everything. All right. It gives the percent. Look, 11 million victims of the Holocaust, 6 million Jewish victims, and 5 million non-Jew. Okay, but look, if we go over here, how many black people died during slavery? It says what? More than 50. International Day of Remembrance of the Victim of Slavery at the transatlantic slave trade for over 400 years. More than 15 million. Is this speaking of? Let's see. Were the victim of 15 million men were the victims of transatlantic slave trade, not of death. How many people died? All right, it was more than 15 million too, by the way. So how many people died though? Why doesn't it want to say anything? Why don't it want to think? Why? Think about this, Jake. Think about it. Let's see. How many? 40,000 black soldiers died in the Civil War. We know that's a bigger number. All right, why? Because they never give credit where credit is due. All right, all the way up to Vietnam and still past Vietnam. All right, black soldiers weren't getting credits. They weren't getting the VA benefits. They weren't getting veterans benefits. All right, their paperwork were getting burned. All right, and they don't want to tell you anything, man. They don't want to tell you anything about us. All right, because they don't want you to get smart. You start learning things, and guess what? Things like uprisals can happen. All right, they don't want that. Okay, but guess what? There's been a lot of you don't have to give us the exact number, E. We know, the exact numbers might not be accurate anyway, all right, down to the T. All right, because we know you weren't counting. Well, there's one, there's two. You didn't even call us, the people. You called us its. All right, if you watched Emancipation, our dead body wasn't, get the dead guy. It said, get it out of here. All right, it. All right, non-humanizing it. All right, dehumanizing it. All right, so we know you weren't necessarily counting us up, so you won't know exactly how many you killed, but there's a lot out there. All right, there's a lot out there. And then when you look up about the Native Americans, how many of them were killed? All right, the Gadites. All right, the number on that isn't even accurate, all right? Whatever they say, all right, imagine it's much, much, much higher than that, all right? You can almost double that number, all right? If they say it's 10, it's 20. If they say it's 50, it's 100, all right? Hell, you can almost triple it probably with Esau, all right? But once again, Numbers 35 and 33, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And guess what? You laughed at our tribulation when our blood was going to be shed, all right, when we were dying and screaming, begging for help. So guess what? We're going to laugh at yours. We're going to laugh when you're doing it. We're going to laugh, all right? We're going to laugh and tell it, and get it out of here, all right? Get that red thing out of here. No, but we're going to be more righteous about it than you, all right? We're going to be more righteous about it than you, okay? So rest assured, all right, in the kingdom, all right, you're not going to be having any acts done on you, because us as Israelites, we're not with that. All right, we know you are. That's why you allow it in your laws, and you can allow them to get married and all that stuff, because you're a bunch of Moes. All right, but we're not about that. All right, of course you got the few Jakes that are, but they've been brainwashed by Esau. All right, but historically, all right, our customs, we're not about that. We're not about any of that Mo shit. All right, we're not about that. This is Obadiah 10 and verse 10. All right, it reads, or not Obadiah 10. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 10. Slakia. I don't know what I'm saying. Slakia. Obadiah 1 and 10. All right, or just Obadiah 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Who is Jacob? Jacob is the name, all right, that the tribes go back to, all right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all 12 tribes, all right? All 12 tribes. If you want to name them off, you can, it'll come up. I got a picture. All right, 1 minute. I'll name them all off, and I'll tell you exactly who they are. All right. All 12 tribes. All right. Well, actually, Jacob. But all the tribes of Israel. All right. 1 minute. All right, so all Israelites come through Jacob, all right, because Jacob's name was later changed to what? Israel, all right. I believe that was the reward that he received from the wrestling with the angel, all right. His reward was his name was changed to Israel, okay. So Israel, who is Israel? The 12 tribes of what? Of Israel. All right, so who is that speaking of? That's speaking of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all right, for the southern kingdom. And then for the northern kingdom, you got Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. All right, Judah being the so-called Negroes, Benjamin being the so-called West Indians, Slovakia, Levi being the so-called Haitians, all right, which Will Smith would have been in that movie, Emancipation. All right, he played, what was his name, Paul? I can't remember his last name, but he would have been of the tribe of Levi. Him and his wife and children would have been of the tribe of Levi, all right, because they were Haitian, okay? Then you got Simeon, or the so-called Dominicans, Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans, the Panamanians, Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, the so-called Cubans, Gad, all right, who we're speaking about in this lesson, all right, well, we're speaking of all Israel, but they were the topic. Gad, all right, which would be the so-called North American Indians, the Native Americans, the Indians, multiple different names, all right, the Apaches, the Navajo, all right, all of the tribes of Gad, all right, well, how they have individual tribes, in Native American tribes, all right, but that's Gad, all right, North American Indians. You got Reuben, all right, just Seminole Indians. All right, Naphtali, the Argentinian, so-called Slovakia, Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians, Naphtali, the so-called Argentinians and Chileans, Asher, the so-called Colombians and Uruguayans, and Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, all right, which among Gad and Issachar and even, Southern Kingdom, just because you look one way, there's a lot of people that you would think are Judites that actually go back to Gad, all right, or Issachar, all right, and vice versa, all right, a lot of Gadites that, so-called, not so-called, but so-called Native Americans, all right, that actually end up going back to the tribe of Judah, all right, and vice versa, all right. You got to realize that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were running with each other on the Trail of Tears. All right, that's a little known history fact. They don't tell you a lot about that all too much. All right, it's mentioned, but they don't. Usually when you think Trail of Tears, you think of Gad, and it was a majority Gad. All right, but there were also Negroes and Latinos, so-called, all right, running amongst them as well. All right, so some of you, dark-skinned men and women out there looking like you'd be of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, you might actually go back to Gad. All right. So keep that in mind. Some of you so-called Mexicans, you might go back to Gad, all right, or Judah, or Benjamin, or Levi, all right. So and vice versa. Gad might people that look like Gad think their Gad might be Issachar. Issachar might be Judah. Judah might be Issachar. Judah might be Gad. So on and so forth. Benjamin might be Levi. Levi might be Judah. Judah might be this and that. All right. So it's not always definitive. All right, because we were all running together. And you could be any of the tribes too. You could look like a so-called Mexican and end up being, from Simeon. All right, look like a Dominican. All right, you speak Spanish. All right, but you look like a Dominican, like a so-called black person. All right, so you never know. All right, we go off of how we feel and through our lineage. All right, but all right, you could just keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out who you might be. Just know that Gad, Judah, and Issachar, all right, well, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and Gad and Issachar ran together on the Trail of Tears, all right? So you can research that. They may or may not give you any information. But anyway, thought I'd throw that out there, all right? But this is Obadiah 10, all right? Because you Esau, all right, you did plenty of stuff, and you have your tribes as well, so to speak, all right? You got Esau, which is your main one. All right, you got Amalek, which is the so-called Ish people. All right, you got who else? Let me see. It's right there. What's their name? Magog. All right, which is Russia. All right, so you got yours as well. All right, you got yours as well. All right, and guess what? They're all Edomites. All right, just like Gad and Issachar and Reuben, they're all Israelites. All right, they're all Israelites. So Magog and Amalek, they're all Edomites. Okay, and we're all Israelites. So guess what? All of y'all are going to be punished. It's not just the white people, so-called white people in America. All right, all white people are going to be put to death. All right, all so-called white, and that's not saying if you have white skin, because I have white-looking skin. All right, there's brothers in this truth that have white-looking skin. All right, that we suffer from leprosy of the skin. All right, there's brothers and sisters. All right, within this truth that may have leprosy of the skin, look like a so-called white person or another nation, such as a Chinese person or a Japanese or an Elamite, which would be a red dot Indian from over in India. All right, so. That doesn't mean they're going to go down with that. We're speaking of the so-called white people, all right? The majority of white-looking people, all right, red people, was really what they are Edomites, all right? But there are people among them, all right, that are actually Israelites, just like not every black-looking person or a brown-looking person, all right, really, because it's not black. Nobody's black, all right? Hamites are pretty close, but they're more like purple, all right? But, just like not every brown-skinned person is an Israelite. All right, you got Hamites. They're brown skinned, are they not? All right, well, bordering on purple. All right, they got that ashy. You see, Jake got that chocolate brown. Hamites got that ashy brown. It's like a dingy brown. It's like purple. It's like blue black. It's even if they're not that dark, they got that. Jake has that luster to their skin. All right, look that word up. They have a luster. They have a glow. They have a shine. It's like a caramel, a shiny caramel color. Which Hamite, they have like a dusty color. They're like dusty, purplish black. It's a weird color. They're not even the same color. They're the same color. No, they aren't. Not if you look at their skin tones. Hamite skin tones are like purplish and bluish. All right. Meanwhile, Jake, all right, our skin tones are, they're more ruddy like. All right, they're more ruddy, like they're brownish, all right, with undershades of like orangish reds in them, all right, which doesn't mean, see, you said you're red. No, Esau, you're red, all right? Smack your skin and get back to me, all right? Obadiah 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, all right, because that's who we are. We're Jacob, and we're your brother, all right? Esau, you are our brother, all right? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So you're going to be cut off forever, all right? And shame shall cover you. Because why? Because you committed violence against us, man, All right, you committed violence against us. All right, we could go on all day with this, man. If we were to talk about Esau, we can make a damn near probably, maybe even I don't know about a 10-hour lesson, but for sure a 5-hour lesson. There's been whole series put out. All right, there was a whole series. What is it called? Because I have it saved. I have it downloaded because I never wanted it to. I know how Esau takes channels down and then stuff gets lost. So sometimes I save lessons from the brothers that that really stick out to me. All right, and or when they take the internet down, I want to have something to watch. So and then until the power go out after that probably, but until then I'll have a little something to watch. All right, but here it is, Apostle Ramalam. No, it's probably under series. Who are the Edomites? All right, which is a series. All right, by Apostle Ramalam. These lessons are like, let's see, let me open one up. How long are they? This one's 14 minutes. Go to the 3:51. So they're a mixed length. Let me grab another one. A lot of them are, one's like 14. Most of them are around like 40 minutes to 50 minutes to an hour. And there's 9 of them. 9 of them, man. Okay, as far as I know, the ones that I saw and that I watched, I believe. All right, so 9 of them. So that's probably about 9 hours. All right, you can round it down to about 8, 6, maybe 7. Okay, if you want to take off, because you never know how long. I'm not going to go through here and judge the time and tell you exactly how long it was, but it had to be put in a series. All right, sure, you could go and make a whole 7-hour lesson about it if you wanted. All right, you can make a 7-hour lesson if you wanted, but we break it up so we can have it throughout days, make series. But Obadiah 10, as we were saying, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And there's a lot of wickedness you've done, all right? And we have the information. Don't try to say, you don't know that it's all. We do know it's you. Why? Through the scriptures, all right? Because we got the full Bible now, all right? This ain't the slave Bible that you try to take stuff out of because you didn't want us rising in rebellion. No, we got the full Bible now, all right? We got the full Bible. Well, at least the stuff that we need, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai needs us to have now. All right, we're aware that there are chapters missing, all right? But Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has it to where the stuff that we need currently, all right, is in that book, all right? And we can get it and we can receive it and we can be taught it through, all right, the prophets that he's working directly with, all right? And then we can teach it, and then you can teach it, and then so on and so forth, all right? So you're not gonna get, as I say, one of my sayings I like to say, you're not gonna get off scot-free. All right, let's look up that term. All right, scot-free. I say scot-free, however I said it, scot-free. To get off scot-free, it means informal, to not get the punishment that is deserved. All right, and they use an example. It's not fair. I was punished, and they got off scot-free, and that would be Esau and Jake right there. All right. So, and guess what? As it might seem as Esau now has gotten off scot-free, they ain't gonna get off scot-free, man. They ain't gonna get off scot-free. It says to get off scot-free, if you get in One Stop English, all right here at the top, it says, we're not going to go on the page, but it says, if you get off scot-free, you avoid punishment for doing something that deserves punishment, okay? Next one, in Collins Dictionary, it says, if you say that someone got off scot-free, you are emphasizing that they escaped punishments for something that you believe they should have been punished for, all right? So, y'all ain't going to get off scot-free, all right? Y'all ain't going to do it. It ain't going to happen, all right? Ain't gonna happen. All right, so let's go and get Micah 2:1. All right, and it reads, "Woe!" This is Micah 2:1. All right, we're gonna read down through 3 and. Okay, we'll go from down to 3. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is the power of their hands." So already you're like, okay, this sounds like the white man. But if it could get any more to script, in verse 2 it says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage." Okay? And they covet fields. They covet fields and take them by violence. Who does that sound like? Who covets fields? Who wants fields so bad and takes them by violence? Who takes lands by violence? Who does that? Who's the main one? Who's the main one? Oh, wait, all right, because it's Esau, all right, in case you didn't get the answer. Esau, all right, the so-called white man. The so-called white man. They're the ones that are coveting fields and taking them by violence. And houses, they're taking those away, and they take them away. And they oppress a man in his house and a man in his heritage. All right, they don't even let you know who you are, Jake. You're over here thinking you're an African, man. Psh, you don't even look anything like him. You don't act nothing like him, man. But here you are. "I'm African and proud." No, you ain't even African, dude. You ain't even African. No, you're not. All right, you're an Israelite, first of all. All right, "I am an African." And you're standing there with that, the fucking African, the African shaped necklace. All right, a shirt with the what is it? The red, the green, black, and yellow. All right, just standing there. "I am an African." Meanwhile, you put them up next to an African, they don't even look anything the fucking same. They don't look like two goddamn completely different people. You want to know why? Because they're two completely different people. All right, Esau, I got you fucked up, Jake. So, "I am an African." No, you're not. Let's get where are we going now? Let's get oh, there's something I wanted to grab. Whoa, it's lucky. There's something I wanted to grab. What was it? Yeah, let's look something up. Colonizer, a country that sends settlers to a place and establish political control over it. All right, so what is that? That's coveting fields and taking them by violence. All right, let's look at colonizer. Let's see what the person looks like. What is a colonizer? Oh, here we go. Here's one. This says colonize the colonizer. There we go. There's another one. See what color they are? Well, not them. There we go. Is colonizer the best word for problematic white people ever? Yes, and it's been used as a word now. It's been used as an insult now. Like, hey, whatever you say. Yeah, see, it's been used as an insult. Her. It says, "Not today, colonizer." All right, whatever you say. The colonizer and the colonized. Not today, colonizer. It's a saying now. Not today, colonizer. Look at these ones, stickers. Okay, colonizer. And it's speaking of white people, all right? Speaking of crackers, all right? But they don't like it when we call them crackers, all right? As someone said on a post, what did it say? What was it? They're making fun of Jake, all right? Because they're like, because black people. I'm not. Don't call me that. Don't call me African American, or don't call me black, or whatever that Jake don't want to be called. This guy in the comments said, "Don't call me a cracker. We prefer to be called saltine Americans now." All right, like making fun of African American, which it's dumb. You can make fun of that all you want, because it shouldn't be called African American anyway, because you're not African and you're not American. You're putting two things together that you aren't. I'm African American. Well, you're not African and you're not American. All right, what you are is you're an Israelite. All right, and a Hebrew Israelite. All right, that's what you are. All right, if you don't like it, well, you're probably 2/3 of the Israelites. All right, so there you go. But let's go and take a detour real quick, and I want to show you the real video. This is the real video that they were making fun of. All right, so let's go ahead and play it. This is the real video they're making fun of.
Great deal from a director named Ingmar Bergman. Often to be most eloquent is to be silent.
Now this was from As it says, this is Marlon Brando, Best Actor Oscar win for The Godfather. All right, this is when he was winning an Oscar for The Godfather, but he turned it down. And then some people clap, but no, boo, boo. Yeah, you fucking crackers, man. You killed a bunch of our people. All right, you killed a bunch of all of our people. All right, bunch of so-called a bunch of so-called Negroes, a bunch of so-called Latinos, and a bunch of so-called Native Americans. You killed a ton of us. And then when we say anything, boo, boo, don't mention what we did. Boo, boo, don't mention the bloodshed that we did. Boo, boo, don't talk about all the people we killed and raped. Boo. Shut the fuck up, Esau. Won't happen. Esau hates us, man. Won't happen. There you go. That's what they're making fun of. All right. That's what they're making fun of. All right. Here we are. There we go. So that's what they're making fun of. Esau thinks that's a joke. People, they booed it back then, and then they made fun of it in 2012. And they probably made fun of her back then too when it was happening. All right. That's just how it happens, man. That's how it happens. That show you, and I believe that lead was Jake. All right. She's lighter, but you got to realize some of the Gadites look just like they look a lot like they're Northern Kingdom, so they look a lot like Latinos sometimes, or sometimes they look really dark. All right. Now historically we're all very dark, but now what do we got? We got light skinned Mexicans. We got light skinned Judites. All right, Levites and Benjamites. All right, very 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 light skinned. All right, very light skinned. There's they got so-called Mexicans that look almost white. All right. For example, all right, you got our skin colors are all messed up, all right, but that's that. If you go to Indian, not Indian because that's what Esau says, but if you go to so-called Native American, reservations or any place with a high Native American population, Arizona for one, if you go down to places like I'm not going to name names because Esau will go down there and do some hate crimes, but I'm not going to name names, but places that generally, out in the boonies, as people would say, out in the boondocks. All right, you go there. There's a lot of Native Americans. I've personally met some of them myself. All right, met some in Arizona. All right, they're down to earth. All right, they got the same problems as Jake because they are Jake. All right, they got the same problems. All right, because they're Israelites. All right, they alcoholism and all these. They live in rough areas. All right, they do the same wickedness as Jake. They're just as wicked, just like Jake. All right, smoking dope and all that stuff. All right, same situation, man. They're Jakes. All right, they're Jakes, and sometimes just like our people might not look exactly how you expect them to. All right, they're not gonna look like they're not gonna look like a textbook Indian standing there, with a feather in their head. Sometimes they will. All right, but generally when you're over there in places where you see a lot of Native Americans, they aren't doing that, man. They aren't doing that. Okay, so there you go. So those are the people, all right? And we had to get that because the colonizers, so-called white people, those are the people that covet fields and take them by violence. All right, let's read verse 1 and 2 again. 1 down to 3. Let's read it again. All right, after this, I'm going to have to cut this short, and I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to come back to it, all right, because I got a lot more I have to get. But Micah 2 in verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, Esau, Edom, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for this time is evil. And let's go ahead and grab one more. All right. Let's go ahead and grab one more before we have to go. And like I said, Lord willing, I'll be able to upload part 2 of this. All right. I'm going to see if I can... I guess I could have just typed Sirach. Lord willing, I'll upload first part of this, all right, as, right before I go and take off to the plantation. But if not, they'll both upload it together. Lord willing, all right, you never know what can happen through a day. So, Lord willing, all right, call all Yahweh, Shemi Awashai, make it home. That'll be, uploaded as well, the second part. I'll have to put it together, all right, and of course, upload part 2. All right, or we could touch on it, tomorrow if something gets in the way. Either way, I want to make sure I get this, made. This is Sirach, all right, Ecclesiasticus, and it should be 36 and verse 9. All right, through 10. And we're actually going to try to grab one more too. Sirach 36 and 9, it says, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. It's Esau Edom. Smite in sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we. They're gonna get smited, all right? They're gonna perish. They are gonna perish. You're not getting out of this one. 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 All right. So let's go. All right, here it is. Obadiah 4. It reads, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Ooh, there's another big one. All right. Every time you see their coins, what do they have on them? Even historically. All right, Roman coins. All right, what do they have on them? Eagles. What do they have on them now? The quarter. Eagles. What do they have on the back? What is it? Is it dollar bill that I believe the dollar bill has an eagle on it too. All right, one of the bills on the back, all right, has an eagle. All right, let me see. No, just dollar. Yeah, see, there it is. Right there. The eagle. All right. The eagle. All right, what about the presidential seal? Let's see it. What does that have on it? Oh, shit, it has an eagle. Huh. They love that eagle, man. Let's see, what about the Roman coins? Oh, what do they have on them? Eagles. Oh, it's the same people coming back. Oh, look, they look the same too. Look, the guy on the front, the eagle on the back. So, you know what? And also the lettering ringing around the edge. See? All right. So there you go. All right. Can't BS your way out of that one, can you, E? So it says, what did it say? Obadiah 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, as you do, and set thou thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. All right, and they like living in high places. Their habitation's high, and also they think that they're going to live amongst they think that they're going to go up and live in rocket ships up on, they try to live on the moon and all that stuff. All right. So, can we get let's get one more. All right, and then I really gotta get it and go. This is 2 Maccabees 7 and 31. Maybe I might be able to get one more. I might be able to get one more after this if I can really fit it in. 2 Maccabees 7 and 31. All right, let's get it. It says, and thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of the Most High. So you're not getting away, E. All the stuff that you've done against us, guess what? You're not getting away. You're not escaping this one. You're not getting off scot-free. All right? You're gonna sit this one through. All right, you're going to sit this one through. 2 Maccabees 7 and 31 once again. And thou that has been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews. All right, not just the so-called Negroes. All right, not just the so-called Latinos, but the so-called Native Americans as well. All of us. All right, all Israelites, all the Hebrews. All right, specifically the Hebrews. Now, we're Hebrews too. Let's get this straight. All right, we're talking about us as the Hebrews. All right, not all of you. All right, not all of you. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of the Most High. All right? Because Esau tries to fit themselves in. Well, we're Hebrews too. We're Hebrew Edomites. We're Hebrew Edomites. Not that they'd ever admit that, but, that's what they try to. Well, you said we're Hebrews. Didn't you say we're Hebrews too? Fucking goofy bastards. All right? All right? That's what they'll say, but they're like, no. All right? What you're going to escape, you're not going to escape, though. You're not. All right? And how do we know that? Because here in Isaiah 34 and 4, all right, down through verse 6, what does it say? It says, and all and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll. This is speaking of a nuclear mushroom cloud, mind you. All right, we've talked about that before. All right, we're not going to get too deep into it on this one, but all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll. When a nuclear bomb goes off, it creates something called a mushroom cloud, and that mushroom cloud, it rolls together like a scroll. It unfolds like a scroll. It rolls in. You can see it. Just watch it. Just watch the videos. And not all of them look the same, but there's some that look like that. All right. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. So this is to come. And what does it say here? It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Well, I thought we're not going to see. We're going to. All right, no, you're sitting this one through. All right, you're not getting off scot-free. All right. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, the Lord. All right. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea, which is another name for Esau, Edom. All right. So you can look that up. All right, look it up. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. Verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah. Look up who dwelled in Bozrah. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And this is to come. All right. This is the come. And in verse 8 it says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. All right. So there we go. There we go. All right. And I really gotta cut it with that one. All right. So I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 more scriptures to get. All right. Lord willing, when I come back. All right. Lord willing, I do come back. All right. And make this lesson. All right. So I'm just going to leave that up. I'm not going to even close that out. So that's been part 1. All right. Of you laugh at our tribulations, so we will laugh at yours. All right. So again, that's part 1. All right. Lord willing, I'll be able to get on part 2 after work. All right. So with that, I'm going to close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, stay tuned for the next part, Lord willing. All right, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, Shalom.